Alright team, let's head out on a mission. Taking out Ultraviolet with Nicholas. We on. Hey team, welcome to this Muddy Feet adventure where today I'm catching up with my good friend Nick and the plan is pretty simple.
Let's go diving!
Let's go diving!
You can see that, bit of a classic spot that. Fish there a lot as a young fella.
Today's adventure is a pretty spontaneous late afternoon mission and we don't have a whole lot of daylight left, so we've decided to keep it pretty simple. We're staying close to home and we're just going to jump in for a quick dive and grab ourselves a feed of shellfish. Anyway, I jump into my wetsuit, which is this here awesome Weddy wetsuit, which I've got to say is super comfy. I do love this suit. I prep the old mask up with a bit of a huck tour and that's good to go. Mask on, gloves on, get all the gears all prepped up and she's good to go. It's time to flop over the side with the epic Mundu.
Cheerio.
I recently broke one camera and this one here isn't waterproof, so there's no underwater footage from today's mish, but there is a big sack of kai. Check it out. Not too bad. The kinna at this particular spot don't get very big, but there are plenty of them and I always like to have a bit of a sample. They're pretty fat for the size of them at the moment and they are very, very tasty. Me and Nick also gathered a decent sack of kutai or mussels because of course the second half of today's video is going to be another installment of Muddy's Kitchen. So here I am just doing a little bit of a quality check, making sure that they are fat, creamy and delicious, which they are indeed. We boost it all the way back to shore and when we make it there we are greeted with a pleasant little surprise. Check this out. Hey, what the hell is this? Ah, ratchet. What's the damage? 200. Oh, guys, buy some Muddy Feet merch. If you'd like to get your hands on some awesome Muddy Feet merchandise today, check out www.muddyfeet.co.nz. Anyway, what was I saying? Oh yeah, that's right. Hi, and welcome back to Muddy's Kitchen, where today we're going to be making some delicious mussel fritters, and of course there will be a certain amount of sampling along the way. Now first of all I do here is I steam the mussels until they just barely pop open, and then I select out the fat and juicy ones and I eat those first. The few that do survive go into this glass bowl over here. As for the survivors, they're not out of the woods just yet because there will be further sampling. Anyway, now is about a good time to spark up an element and chuck the a pan on and chuck some bacon into said pan. Get that bacon nice and crispy and brown and pull that out, chop it into little squares and pretty much do the exact same thing to some onion. Put the onion until it looks like this. Now, I've seen some people chuck their mussels in like a blender or a blitzy type machine and it just absolutely wrecks them, just turns them into a paste and you completely lose your mussels in the mix. I like to roughly chop them like this, choppity chop 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 into some nice rustic chunks, and then that makes your fritters nice and hearty. Now into a bowl goes some flour, some baking soda or baking powder. I'm going to admit I'm not entirely sure which one it was, but one of you guys will know. If you could chuck that in the comments, that'd be super helpful. And there's also an egg in there and some green herb powder. It's like a mixture of green herbs. You can have that, you don't have to have that. It's not too strong, it's delicious, don't worry about it. Anyway, we give that all a great mix up and she should look sort of like this. And then we're going to add in all of our other delicious little bits and pieces. So boom, in goes the bacon, or bam, in goes the onion, boof. Here are all those delicious, rustic, roughly chopped mussels in there. Oh, that's coming good. Yeah. Once that folds together, look at it. Yum.
Yeah. Very good salt.
A little bit of salt, a little bit of, what's that, pepper? And that salt and pepper. Bit of a pro tip here, if you're not actually being helpful in the kitchen, just be a good hype man.
Yeah, look at that for golden. Oh, that's majestic. Just barely enough fritter mix to be holding all the mussels together is the idea. Sample fritter.
I want to say a massive thank you to the bro Nick for taking me out on board his beautiful vessel Ultraviolet for another epic adventure. Always look forward to our missions, my bro. And to Michelle, thank you very much for making these delicious fritters with me, and thank you for your hospitality during my time in Whakatane. Check it out, team. Here's the spread for tonight. I hope you guys enjoyed this little installment, and I'll see you guys back here real soon.